I'm not a character, says Gillian Assor, 6 months following prevent a suicidal on a rail axle close London. I fair happened to be walk history. On to figures of the UK Transportation Police Force, 2018 has seen a 20% growth in members of the social intermediate to halt human beings murder themselves on railway. In May, Time Out Walk her hound, Gillian became one of such human beings. They were weeping, hysterically weeping and manufacturing noises. At how time, Gillian solved to explore, but it would not be before months after how she would understand the real effect of her actions. I knew I had to include a schedule, says Gillian. She afraid the man might be violent, each by word or constructively, but says she knew how, no question which, she wasn't departure to go history him. Slow, in her hound, she close and named out to ask if the man was okay. No, I'm no, he shouted behind. I could see how he was in a very bad country, says Gillian. He was irate but he was weeping as so. She says she solved she was departure to be courageous and attitude him. Gillian convinced him to sit downward in her on the asphalt in the medium of the axle and him on one party, me on the some and the dog in among us. Of expertise of her child's concern, Gillian knew of the significance of ground, so began to ask main questions such as his behalf and wherever he was of to break down his feeling. His behalf was Tommy. He was 23-year ancient. Following 10 or 15 protocol, Tommy began to tranquility downward but was yet terse. At house spot, a boat train gone under them. It done Gillian miracle if he would include lost if she had not been down there. Tommy said Gillian why he was on the axle, but how, she says, is a question how will stay among them. Ultimately, she convinced Tommy to urge his parents and let them aware wherever he was. She waited before they arriving, on 25 protocol following she at first closed Tommy, later retreated. I was a bit blown up off, thought, did how fair occur. Gillian just tell to her mom and a boyfriend on her expertise, but after in the year implemented human beings she had never met were debating her history on the internet. One Saturday night, her man showed her a Facebook position. It began, I aware I'm request the unfeasible, and I aware the is love looking for a pin in a hay, but 4 persons months ago I tested to get my lifetime and a unknown stopped me in her hound. As she recite the position, Gillian implemented she was the unknown. She solved not to answer on the filament, I mind, he's not on me and it really be on me. It was on him. Her man shipped Tommy a individual communication, accounting the unknown was his woman. The couple tell on the telephone how date. 3 days after they organized to encounter in a regional public house. I saw him walk up the some party of the public house, he thrown his weapon about me and I mind, beatify him. He clung to her for more than rather than a min, proverb, thou stored my lifetime. You stored my lifetime. They consumable and time along, that Gillian describes as specific. With later we've walked the dog a few times and we're in pin 2 or 3 times a 1 week, she says. It is the largest insurmountable sense I've always had, some rather than give her childbirth, same's in my cardiac currently. The ties is down there and it is incredible. He's a really extraordinary ties, he's not religious, he's fair and unseen and not material item in my cardiac. Tommy is yet wait for consulting on the NHS, Gillian says, but the couple include plan a travel behind to the axle wherever they met to do a pleasant, new expertise.